give money to a company that was doing that to their employees for years. Not to mention, I just find most of Ubisoft games to not be that good. As in, they don't appeal to me. As not as in they aren't quality, because some of their games are good. Some of them are not. All right, and it's 7:30, so let's get this party started.
Whew. Just in time.
How's it going, Jewel?
Happened.
Really, someone started bleeding out of their ass? I'm being facetious. I don't want to know if someone was actually bleeding out of their ass. That would be
No.
ridiculous.
No. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Somehow the John got backed up.
Oh yeah, that is a disaster. That is
Yeah.
totally a disaster. The only thing worse than having the John back up is shitting on yourself. Now, I've never had that happen to me, but I've seen it happen to people, and that's just not a good
That's not a good
situation.
sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but before we go any further, we are live with another episode of BS Busters, and today we're talking. This is the first
Welcome
day,
to the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
the first day of the return of E3. E3 as what it should have been 10 years ago. Well, not 10, but definitely 5 years ago. Streaming and open to everybody. So, with that being said, before we go any further, let's have everyone introduce themselves, starting with the lady first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. I'm Tori Elamin Star. Welcome you to the BS Posters and the League Podcast E3 edition. And of course, EA somehow ended up being the headliner for this in the wrong way.
Really? Did they? I don't think they did.
Um, you didn't hear that they got jacked, right?
Yeah, but
Or
I mean, come on. The hackers have been hitting everybody. They hit CD Projekt Red. They hit. Look, I'm glad someone stole EA's shitty FIFA and Frostbite source code, because maybe they'll develop trainers that people can get all the money they need to buy all the shit they need without spending real money on fake shit. Uh, this is not an endorsement for piracy or cheating. But fuck
I
EA
get
and
you.
their piracy
I was
and
just
cheating.
saying that. I was saying that usually, if you're trying to present something on a day like this, it's best that you don't have any bad news right behind you.
Yeah, yeah. And this is only like the first, I would say the first 10%, 15% of our E3 coverage, because really, like, E3 is going to keep on going to like Thursday this year of next week. Like Wednesday, Thursday of next year. So or Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday and well, Thursday, because for East Coast people, because it's going to go throughout the night due to time differences. Those bastards. Anyway, so before we go any further, Kanoshi, introduce yourself.
It's Kanoshi Abominito here to say that at least a couple of conferences that I saw today were pretty terrible. What was it?
Digital developer.
Devolver Digital?
Devolver. Yeah, that was alright.
I haven't seen
still
Devolver
fun.
Digitals yet. I will wait until afterwards. We're going after the big ones, so a few game announcements, and of course, so a little bit of news. But of course, we're going to talk about Koch Media's showcase in Ubisoft, or as I like to call them, Ubi shit.
Nice, Rob.
So I guess we can start with Koch Media first, since they're the first one up there. So first, Koch Media showed off something from I don't know who it's from, but it's called Prime Matter, and it looks like, from what they showed of the trailer, that it's epic fantasy battles, medieval sword fights, and cyberpunk gameplay. So Prime Matter looks pretty interesting.
all means.
It's got some weird shit going on. Apparently, there's a new Gungrave game coming out. For those of you who don't know, Gungrave was this kind of fucked up anime about this guy who, thanks to being injected with nanites, enabled him to essentially made him practically immortal. As long as he had his nanite infused blood, he could just heal from shit. But of course, you know, it's an anime, so you had people trying to kill him and him trying to get revenge on people who turned him into a cyborg. It was one of those weird ass animes, but
it's that anime.
Well, there's always, look, for every anime that's really easy to get into, there's always some bullshit.
I was thinking that there's normal anime, and then there's anime that says, really?
There's always
You're going
some
this
bullshit.
over the top.
Well, I mean, every anime fan knows there's always going to be some bullshit in anime, where it's like, this is some bullshit. Okay, so next, there's a new Painkiller coming out, allegedly, which, for those of you who don't know, Painkiller is like a third-tier first-person shooter from back in the day. Excuse me, I have...
Frog in the throat?
Yeah, well, my allergies have been kicking my ass today because it, like, initially, early this morning, it looked like it was going to be overcast and the rain was going to keep the pollen down. But then the sun came out and the trees were like, oh, we can now have sex. And lots of pollen came out and it got on my body and my throat and my mouth. And now I'm coughing it up.
I got rain.
Yeah, that's all pollen really is, folks. You know, for people, I could go with a dirty joke here, but I won't. But anyway,
Enough said.
It's plant sex, and that's what you're allergic to. But anyway, apparently there's an untitled horror game also coming up by Prime Matter, and they say that the game is influenced by 70s film aesthetics. And it's also been inspired by Resident Evil, Eternal Darkness, and Alone in the Dark. And of course, they don't tell us anything about the gameplay or any of that. They just tell us it's going to be using Unreal 4. So, meh. So they also announced Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Switch. So yeah, folks, you can play a vastly inferior version of that game on the Switch.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know how that's gonna work.
I mean, it's probably going to be running really, really shittily on the Switch. I mean, it's just, you know, it's...
That game had a hard time running on PC.
Yeah, like, let me put it this way. I have, for the specs for that game, I have a really over-spec'd PC, and it doesn't run that great on my PC. So imagining it running on the Switch, like, they're either going to have to dial back a whole bunch of settings in order to get it to run relatively stably on the Switch. Which, I mean, here's the thing. If all you have is a Switch and you really want to play this game, here you go. You got an outlet. It's kind of like, you know, when VCRs first came out with color and all you had was a black and white TV. Like, you're kind of missing out on the color shit. But hey, you know, if all you have is a black and white TV and a VCR, here you go. All right, you can watch your shit. Okay, you're just missing out on, you know, the greater aspect of what's available for it. So here you go, folks. Kingdom Come Deliverance coming to the Switch. Apparently, this game was ported over to the Switch due to a mistranslation, or someone made a mistake. But here you go, Kingdom Come Deliverance. You can play Hungry Hungry Henry. Next, there's Final Form, which some people are calling are calling kind of a, no, I'm thinking about the wrong thing. Final Form, which is basically a, I don't know what this game is. Oh, no, I know. This game looks kind of like a, This game is the game that they basically said is essentially kind of like what people want from Metroid Prime 4. Because your character can go into essentially a morph ball and move around. I mean, if the developers of this game told me they hadn't been playing some Metroid Prime, I would call them damn liars to their face. Just saying.
Some things just are that obvious, aren't they?
I mean, if you, the trailer has the dude or character turning into a morph ball. I mean, I know they're gonna call it something else, but it's a fucking morph ball. Come on, bruh.
Yeah, I was just saying sometimes it's that obvious of where the source comes from, right?
I mean, if you're gonna steal from the best. That's all I'm saying.
No contest here.
So there you go, folks. There you go, folks. So, and then we have Dolmen, which is basically a Souls type game, but in a sci-fi setting. And it's drawing inspiration from Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Mass Effect, and Dead Space.
Not a bad group.
Yeah, I mean, all those are pretty good games. You know, if you can get past the whole shitty controls of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Dead Space, actually pretty good, so I'm not, I can't get mad about that. Next, they announced King's Bounty 2, which I pre-ordered because I'm an idiot. And also a King's Bounty fanboy.
Your words, not mine.
I really like King's Bounty because I got into it with the new King's Bounty game that came out a few years ago called King's Bounty. What was it called? I want to say Conquest? No. King's Bounty: The Legend. The Legend Begins, or something like that. Basically, it was a reimagining of the King's Bounty Bounty series, and I really enjoyed it. And there was like 4 games in the series. There was King's Bounty, The Legend Begins. There was King's Bounty Armored Princess, and then an expansion of that called Crossworlds, which is all basically focused on battles. Then there was King's Bounty Fire and Ice, where you played like a Viking. And then there was another one on top of that called King's Bounty Dark Crusade, like Dark Hero, where you get to play as the villains. You could be like a demon, a vampire, or a witch. So, I mean, I kind of like the franchise, and I'm glad that they made a new one. It's made by a different studio, and there's no real continuation from the other games, but overall, I'm a King's Bounty fan, so I was like, I gotta support it. Next, they showed The Scars Above, where you basically play as a lady scavenging on this desolate alien planet for bits and pieces. And apparently it's influenced by H.P. Lovecraft and will deal with eldritch themes of horror. So, I mean, yay. Encased, which is a sci-fi RPG. It's isometric, so it's like a conventional CRPG, but with a modern aesthetic. Looks pretty interesting. Looks like it's taken a lot of cues from like Wasteland 2 and 3. Echoes of the End, a new fantasy RPG series. The Last Auric Crew, which I have no idea what it is, but it looks interesting. And Payday 3, which, I mean, this game has been on and off and on and off and on and off.
Piece of the Payday race anticipation.
I mean, they
just... already!
Yeah, it's... The studio behind this has been hoping for a big win for a while now, so I don't know where to go with that. But what are you guys' thoughts on Coke's announcements? Yes, no, maybe so. Are you interested in any of those games I mentioned? Do you care?
There's some hope, but then again, I might have to look into them a little deeper to find out what they offer.
All right. Kenoshi?
What were a couple of those games again? Actually,
Well, there was King's Bounty 2, Payday 3, a whole bunch of new IPs. I mean, like, here's the thing. Even if
Yeah.
I'm not interested in these games, they are making new shit. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, a port of Kingdom Come Deliverance to the Switch, which, I mean, I don't care what anyone says, probably is going to run like shit, but, you know. Especially, now, maybe not docked, but if you're trying to play that shit handheld, Godspeed, sir. You're taking your life in your hands with that one. But maybe if they got some of those CD Projekt Red developers who got The Witcher 3 to run on the Switch, you know, maybe that'll help. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, there's some good stuff coming out. I'm just not really overly enthused with it. There's a game called Final Form that is a direct ripoff of Metroid Prime. I will share the friggin' video, and you guys can take a look at it on your own time. But it is a part and parcel ripoff of Metroid Prime. I mean, like, if you're gonna steal first person action adventure, you might as well steal it from one of the best. So I can't get mad about it. Next, I think we should go with Ubisoft, if that's okay with you guys.
What
So,
to say? What do they have to offer?
well, these are just the 9 biggest announcements they had, because I don't think anyone gives a shit about the other stuff, and I didn't feel like going through the minutes. So first we have Rainbow Six Extraction, which used to be called Rainbow Six Quarantine, but they couldn't use that. They couldn't use that title. Yeah, phrasing. So Rainbow Six Extraction, which you know, I've never been a huge Rainbow Six person. Like, I liked it during the GameCube era, and that's about it. Like, I like the GameCube. It's like I like Splinter Cell when it was in the 6th gen, and when it went to the 3rd gen, it kind of got shitty. They are bringing back Rocksmith, but there's a caveat, folks. It's got a subscription, so you'll have to pay for monthly access to Rocksmith. So you want to learn how to play the guitar, you can either pay for expensive lessons from a licensed guitarist, or you can pay like $180 a year to Ubisoft, so you might learn how to play the guitar. I mean, I'm 180. I'm being facetious. I don't know how much it costs. Like, they didn't say. I'm just being facetious. I don't know how much it costs.
So, that deserves a boo.
I mean, the thing that gets me is that they are essentially, Ubisoft is essentially showing off, like, Ubisoft announced a streaming service, but don't have a date when the actual game comes out yet. I mean, isn't that kind of putting the cart before the horse? Isn't that like going on a date with a woman and saying, you know, when we get married and grow old together and retire, we're going to move to Fort Lauderdale? It's like, motherfucker, this is your first date. You know,
Are they trying to pull a Stadia?
I mean, I think they're just trying to bring in extra money. I don't think it's a
I
Stadia
know.
thing.
I was saying that are they trying to pull a Stadia and overhype something that's not existing yet?
I don't think it's that. I think, and I'm not defending them, I think that they basically said, we want to have something out there because everyone wants a subscription service where they can make a lot of money. And this is the way to do it. Oda Star said, this E3 started out dry and will end dry. Yeah, but there's things that you can get for dryness. There's certain products that can help with that. I don't know what could help E3's dryness. I mean, I don't think if you had a tub of the shit, it could help, but maybe. I don't know. Next, we have Riders Republic, which, I mean, you know, it's a sports game. You've got like wingsuits and people riding on jetpacks and mountain biking and snowboarding and shit. I mean, I don't really like extreme sports games unless it's like BMX biking or snowboarding. Like I'm not really, and I don't trust Ubisoft's games like that. Like my favorite snowboarding game that was like kind of official was 1080 snowboarding from back in the day. And that tells you just how old I am because I like 1080 snowboarding from back in the day.
Is it odd that I trust Ubisoft more than EA with sports?
I don't trust either of them. They're both shit. I don't trust Ubisoft or EA with sports. With EA, you're going to get a base experience, but it's not really going to change. With Ubisoft, like, Ubisoft is very hit or miss with their sports games. Like, either they're, like, to me, I find Ubisoft's games to be fucking boring as shit. They're not enjoyable to me. But, you know, to each his own.
Oh, great. Thank you for making me realize that hopefully I was hoping that we at least get something that is different from EA lotto tickets.
I mean, they're probably going to have that shit in this too, because it's Ubisoft and they want to be the European EA, and they're well on their way to surpassing EA, because I never heard of EA threatening to rape people and drugging their employees against their wishes. There's also an announcement that they're doing like a DLC event for Rainbow Six Siege. Like I said, I haven't liked Rainbow Six for years. There's more content coming to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The next expansion is the Siege of Paris, so...
Something to shrug about.
Apparently, they're also... Ubisoft is putting out a movie called The Werewolves Within, or they're a part of it. I actually saw the trailer for this. Yeah, the movie actually looks kind of interesting. It's about this black guy who becomes the sheriff of this little town with a whole bunch of white people around there in the north. And apparently there's a werewolf killing people. And so they all board up in like this cabin, this large cabin, this lodge house. But here's the problem. One of the people inside is also a werewolf. And so this guy, who is the only black guy in the film, has to struggle to survive and not be murdered while trying to also discover who's the werewolf and take them out. It's coming to... it's going to be available... it's coming to theaters June 25th and available for streaming July 2nd. So, looks kind of interesting. Next we have Far Cry 6. So, and they have Giancarlo Esposito. For those of you who don't know who that is, anyone seen Breaking Bad?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, you know the guy who was a major big bad set up to go up against Walter White in one of the seasons, who owned the chicken chain, who was like a major badass drug dealer. Yeah, the guy who played that character is playing the I'm not a villain in Far Cry 6. So he's going to be playing a villain like he does in every fucking thing else he's in. Giancarlo Esposito. So there you go, folks. And they announced a season pass for Far Cry 6, where you can play as the villains. So you can play as Vaz from Far Cry 4, Pagan Min from Far Cry 5, and Joseph from Far Cry. Not Far Cry 6. Far Cry. Whatever the fuck that latest Far Cry game was. I want to say New Dawn, but it wasn't called New Dawn. It was called something else. But anyway, yeah. Old villains brought back. I guess that's cool. And of course, there's Mario Rabbids. Kingdom Battles getting a
sequel.
A sequel, which, I mean,
I'm not enthused.
I didn't like the first Mario Cross Rabbids. I'm not getting the second one. And fuck this company.
Yeah. I said I wasn't enthused with the first Rabbids. I mean, seriously. Have you seen what are personalities?
I mean, I like the idea. I just don't like the Rabbids. So why would I want to play a game that had the Rabbids in it? I hate those characters. There's certain characters that, like, if you gave me a video game based around them, I would have an apoplexy, and the Rabbids are one of them. The other one is the Smurfs. I hate the Smurfs.
To say, surprised that you're calling for the Smurfs and Rabbids to be eliminated.
I hate both of those characters. I hate the Smurfs and I hate the Rabbids. I hate them for different reasons. I hate the Smurfs because the cartoon was just stupid. And as an older person, it just doesn't make sense. Like, okay, let me get this straight. You have all of these male Smurfs, only one female Smurf, and all the other male Smurfs aren't going out of their way to fuck the shit out of Smurfette? Doesn't make any sense. Also, you have the Jewish stereotype that is Gargamel trying to eat the Smurfs or use them in a spell. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, the Smurfs.
They don't explain that at all.
Like, there's some cartoons where you can go back and look at it as an adult, and you're like, this kind of holds up. The Smurfs is not one of those. Like, you can go back and watch the Jetsons or the Flintstones and be like, oh, there's some cool shit in here. Same thing with Adam Ant, the Hanna-Barbera shit. You can go back and look at it. The Smurfs is just terrible. It was terrible back then, and it's terrible now. And for some reason, there's companies that keep on trying to make the Smurfs into something, and I'm like, it's not going to happen. But that's my own opinion. Oh, and there's also a new Avatar game coming out, so. I mean. Cool, I guess. I don't know.
Avatar: The Last Airbender game, or?
No, Avatar is in that movie that James Cameron's been saying, yeah, it's on its way. It's on its way.
All those blue people.
We're coming out with a new one. It's on its way. I promise you. Because people were clamoring, I need to know more of this story. And no one was clamoring. The only reason people went to go see Avatar was because it was completely in 3D. Not because of the story or the characters.
Wasn't it because it was the first 3D?
It was the first movie that was everything was in 3D. That's the only reason people. Like, here's what I've learned about James Cameron: the more he relies on special effects, the shittier his movies get.
And why am I not surprised?
It's like, oh, too much special effects? Oh, this movie's going to be terrible. And Avatar did not put a lie on that supposition. So what are your guys' thoughts on Ubisoft? Yes, no, maybe so? Are you interested in any of these games? Will any of these games make you say, you know what? I hate this company, but I'll play this game?
The only one that's making me wonder, is this going to be any good at all again, is the Rabbids, and that's a low bar already.
I mean, it might be good. Here's the thing. From the people that I've talked to who played the Rabbids game, they said they enjoy it. But the thing is that I hate hate
those beeping rabbits.
I hate the rabbits. I hate those characters.
I mean, if anything, I wish their final game was rabbits go home and they stay home.
I mean, I don't normally just hate on shit, but I hate hate the rabbits. I don't think they're funny. I don't think they're enjoyable to watch. Like, there's some characters like, oh, this is an interesting character. I hate the rabbits. I fucking hate those characters. I hate them. If the rabbits were a person, I would hire a hitman to kill them.
Dang.
If they were legit rabbits, if they were legit rabbits, I wish that I could go up to them and snap their necks. I hate those characters.
Which is kind of scary, but also understandable.
Well, they're not real. Like, if you kill a rabbit, no one's going to say anything to you about it because they're an animal. And a prey animal at that. Like, no one's going to be like, oh man, you killed that rabbit. I'd kill him and cook him. And eat him.
Among other things, but I get you. It's just that some people like cute things and hate you if you kill it.
I mean, there's some things that are too cute to die, but the rabbits aren't cute. They're just fucking annoying. And I don't consider annoying characters to be cute. That's just me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we did Ubisoft. We did Koch Media. I guess we can get to some of these news stories. Big news. We talked about a new Evil Dead game coming Wednesday. But some more news. A Metal Slug game is being released by .emu. Oh, it's being published by .emu. It's being developed by Lee Kier Studio. And you might ask, oh, a new Metal Slug game. So is it going to be like all the others? Nope. It's a roguelike tactical game. And it looks fucking awesome.
Which has to be confusing and yet cool at the same time.
I mean, it looks like someone said, okay, people are tired of the side-scrolling, really hard, bullet hell-y Metal Slug game. So we'll do something different. And what they did looks fucking awesome. I mean, it really does look really good. And really, I hope that if this game is successful, they'll continue doing Metal Slug tactic style games, because let's keep it real. Like, how many times can you run around rescuing POWs, stabbing people with your little knife, getting into a vehicle that's really awesome and can only take 2 or 3 hits of damage before it blows up, and then you got to start all over again, like in the conventional Metal Slug. How long?
If anything, I have to wonder. It feels like how long before you have to restart from the arcade.
Yeah, so doing something different makes me happy. And also the art style looks really good. It's like they translated the conventional 16, 32-bit art style from Metal Slug games into a overhead tactical view, and it works. It works. I mean, .emu has really been knocking out the park, so I give them props.
Yeah, I would say as long as they are careful and don't make a bad example of how to change the formula, they're in good hands.
Looks pretty good. Now, if only they include those awesome status effects where, like, you could turn into an old person or a mummy or get all fat and out of shape. Now, if you can do that shit,
that would be actually funny.
This game will be the shit. If you can do that stuff, it'll be perfect. I don't know if that's the case, but it'd be awesome. Next little bit of news, some sad news for those of you who are still really hoping that Fallout 76 will pull things around.
Oh no! If anything, I heard this one. Fallout 76's Battle Royale mode has been put in a can.
That's right. Their nuclear winter, Fallout 76's Battle Royale mode, has been nuked. It's gone. It no longer exists. It's being pulled. It's being permanently removed by September, according to an official post by Bethesda. The mode simply hasn't proved popular enough to justify its inclusion, the company said, and Bethesda will be prioritizing the game's adventure mode. No shit. People want to play a Fallout game with an adventure mode? Oh! This is proving...
You're teabagging on them for that, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I just call me Captain Obvious. This is proving somewhat of a controversial decision for a segment of the Fallout 76 player base not big enough to make a difference, as Nuclear Winter was the only supported PvP game mode. Survival, a version of the game focused on open-world PvP in the game's main map of Appalachia, was also sunset in March of 2019. No one wants to fucking play Fallout with other people. People want to play Fallout by themselves. I mean, not like as a PvP game. Like, if you did an MMO-style Fallout game where people party up with other people and do shit, cool. But people don't want to play a PvP Fallout game, especially when the PvP is as fucking broken as Fallout 76's PvP is. Bethesda notes that a major part of its decision-making process was the inability to quickly fill a lobby.
I was gonna say, was it that obvious that they can't fill a room?
Well, it goes beyond that. Like, this is just them saving face. It goes further than that. It also became tougher to put full Nuclear Winter lobbies together, with also making sacrifices on match wait times, the post reads. And the community post Bethesda wrote, I'm not going to read all that shit. I like Nuclear Winter, but you can't put zero effort into the game mode and expect it to retain a player base, wrote one player on the game's subreddit. The two maps are very old and now boring. There's not been any new or limited time rewards in a very long time. There's no rewards after level 100. Hackers are still running rampant on PC. The goddamn Gauss shotgun is almost as bad as the hackers. Camp building / blueprinting should be a way more viable playstyle. Even role players have been struggling with the lack of PvP combat, as playing out an in-character battle is so tough when the game systems don't allow you to do so. It remains to be seen what Bethesda could add to Fallout 76 for PvP combat, but players who participated in Nuclear Winter will earn in-game rewards to compensate them. Okay.
Did you pick yourself off the ground from laughing?
Well, I got the laughter out of the way. Okay, let me explain what's really going on here. Okay, part of this is we don't have the resources to there's not enough people using it for us to support it. But also part of it is the PvP is still broken in the game. Like, playing against other people is fundamentally broken in the game. And Bethesda is still they aren't a huge studio. And, you know, the studios that they used to own when they were Bethesda Softworks by themselves, those are now under Microsoft's aegis. And Microsoft's like, we're not putting time and energy in this shit. Especially when no one's using it, because it's a numbers game. So, yeah. Fuck them, as far as I'm concerned. You guys have any thoughts on it?
Rest in peace, Fallout 76. Battle Royale.
I mean, I think it's amusing that they're all like, yeah, we're doing all this shit. It's like, no one fucking wanted... No one was begging for a Fallout game that had multiplayer in it, like PvP. The only reason they added PvP was because they saw that shit like Fortnite and other battle royale games where they had other PvP style games were doing something. They saw shit like Splatoon that has heavy PvP aspect to it coming out, and Fortnite and PUBG. Like, they were bandwagoning. That's all the shit was. It was just them jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, we can do that too. No, you can't. But, you know, it's gone now. Next, we have hackers. The hackers hacked EA.
Which is always entertaining. In a weird sense.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I feel sorry for the developers who had their shit stolen, but apparently they stole 780 gigabytes of data, and they stole proprietary EA frameworks and software development kits. So, not good. You know, I feel sorry for the people who worked there and had their work stolen, but EA, the company, like the corporate overlords that, you know, give themselves massive pay raises for no goddamn reason, fuck them. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Yes, no, maybe so?
Another company that's getting hacked. It seems like this is a common occurrence.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seems like every time you turn around, some jackass is getting hacked. So, what are your guys' thoughts on it? I mean, do you agree, disagree? You think this is bad, okay?
I will say it's bad, but in a sense, it's sad. It's weird that I'm actually trying not to laugh.
Well, I mean, I'm not laughing. I feel, like I said, I feel sorry for the employees, but for EA, the company, the people in charge.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was trying not to laugh, because it's the company I feel like deserves to be laughed at, but I don't want to hit the workers that are getting punished for that stunt.
Yeah, I just really don't care about I just like, it's hard for me to drudge up sympathy for the company when they've done so much dirty stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we can add in Gearbox's announcements as well, since, you know, we're here. I'll put it in the chat. Because Gearbox had some announcements as well. Let's see. Godfall is coming to the PS4. I mean, does anyone care? Is anyone like, oh my god?
That's a zero gain.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't very good. I heard Godfall wasn't that good. It's one of those games that looks gorgeous, but it plays like it's very how can I put this? It looks gorgeous, but it's very shallow. It's a very shallow gameplay experience. Tribes of Midgard, which
hello everyone, my name is Brazil. The world goes each night is and biggest, of course.
It's an overhead sandbox style game. So, Homeworld 3. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to say, that doesn't sound too bad, right?
I mean, look, it's a new IP, so
Yeah.
that's good.
I was just saying that it sounds like something to keep an eye on. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Homeworld 3 is in production. They're releasing a trailer that you can fight wyverns in the upcoming Borderlands spinoff, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which, I'm not gonna lie, looked fucking awesome.
To say, did I hear that right? Because that sounded a little bit up your alley.
It looked.
Wording.
I mean, because in the Borderlands universe, Tiny Tina, who is fucking insane, plays a tabletop game called Bunkers and Badasses, and which is a riff off of Dungeons and Dragons. And basically, like in Borderlands 2, there's DLC where you play a game of that. And in Borderlands 3, there's DLC where you play a game of that. And apparently this game takes place after that, where you're playing a campaign with Tiny Tina as the DM.
Hopefully she's not trying to kill you.
Well, she's insane. She changes the rules on the fly. She adds new creatures, and she's a DM from hell. But you get to play Borderlands style with melee weapons. Instead of grenades, you've got spells and skills. Here's the thing. Gearbox sucks at a lot of shit, but they make really good Borderlands games. So I'm kind of excited about that. Here's some other news that came out. Later on this year, you'll be able to get Civilization 6, the Game of the Year edition, for $50 with all the DLC. So
value.
Yeah. This is what happens when you wait, folks, and don't just buy shit when it first comes out. You wait long enough.
Yeah. I was going to say though, if anything, at least look for the reviews. That way, at least you know what you're getting into.
So, I guess we can talk about Devolver Digital's announcements. So they have Trek to Yomi, where you play a young swordsman going around slicing and dicing motherfuckers, as you do when you're a young swordsman. Then you have Wizard with a Gun, which already sounds badass. Because a normal wizard with a wand or a focus is badass, but a wizard with a gun, I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah.
More like wizard with the best kind of magic missile.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Hit me with your wand? No, blast you with my shotgun. Okay, I was just messing around.
As I said, play a wizard with the better kind of magic missile.
And then they have Inscription, which is apparently a card-playing horror game from the Pony Island creator. The game looks kind of like Hand of Fate a little bit, but not as interesting.
So it's playing a simulated card game that has horror in it.
Yeah, just graphically, it looks like Hand of Fate, the way the cards move around, but it's a horror game, so, it is what it is. Then they released a game, because Devolver's been releasing games the last two Devolver Digital Directs. It's Devolver Tumblr Time.
Wow.
For your phone. So, and then they have Demon Throttle. It's a physical exclusive. So from the developers of Gato Roboto, which is basically kind of like a Metroid Lite, comes an all-new title that you can only buy if you get a physical box set of Demon Throttle. The story follows a vampiress and a gunslinger seeking revenge after a demon stole her chalices and slept with the gunslinger's estranged wife. And they're fighting their way through 4 generals and domains in bombastic action. I'm gonna get this game if it if it comes on PC. Just because I like the idea of a guy going after someone for sleeping with his estranged wife. That's just a really...
Going with a woman that really wants the guy you did as much as you do.
I'm just happy. I'm really happy about that. Next we have Death's Door. Where apparently this game looks kind of like this is that game where you play as a crow who's an emissary of the dead, bringing back souls that didn't die or should have stayed dead, coming back, and it comes out July 20th for the Xbox Series X and X, the Xbox One, and the PC. There is no news of when it's going to launch for the PlayStation. I don't know what to say to that. Next we have Phantom Abyss, which, I mean, looks like some type of trapathon. I don't know. It looks kind of weird. And finally, Shadow Warrior 3, coming out later this year. We don't have an exact date. It's Shadow Warrior, so if you liked Shadow Warrior 1 and 2, you're probably going to like this. If you want more Lo Wang in your life, here you go. Enough said. All right.
Your words, not mine.
I mean, I like Shadow Warrior. Like, I like the original because it was kind of insensitively racist, but in a kind of borderline funny way. Like, if Duke Nukem is a parody of the Caucasian action hero of the 80s, Shadow Warrior is a parody of the Asian action heroes of the 1970s. Like Bruce Lee and the myriad of Bruce Lee clones. So, I like parodies when they're done well. The original Lo Wang was voiced by a white guy doing a shitty fake Asian accent, and he sounded like this: "You can't handle the Lo Wang." And the new game actually has an Asian person playing Lo Wang, so progress. I don't know. Here, let me look it up. Shadow Warrior, Lo Wang, Shadow Warrior reboot, Lo Wang voice actor.
Yeah, there's progress in there.
No, I lied. It's the guy's voice actor is Jason Liebrecht. So once again, they couldn't get an Asian person to play Lo Wang. Not cool, bro. Not cool. But apparently he's been voicing Japanese people in anime for years. In anime. Let's see. Shadow's House, RWBY, Red, White, Blue, and Yellow, Attack on Titan, Our Last Crusade or Rise of the New World, My Hero, One's Justice, Fruits Basket, Stand My Heroes, Kono Oto Tomare, My Hero.
That's quite a resume.
Yeah, this dude is a voice actor, and he's been rolling for years. He's been doing voice acting since 1989 in Sonic Soldier Borgman.
Dang.
Yeah,
And you were saying that they did for 2 My Hero games?
No, I just went all the way back to his earliest credit of voice acting, and it's Sonic Soldier Borgman, 1989. So, for those of you listening, this guy has been voice acting longer than some of you people have been alive. I mean, he barely edges me out. He started doing voice acting 3 years after I was born. Fuck. Jesus, this dude has been in the game a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been through a lot of stuff.
Anyway, so we did those things. Anything else you guys want to go through before we get to asshole of the week? Or do we have to do asshole of the week? Can we do unpopular opinion again?
I was about to say, I think that with all the gaming news that's been going on, and we still got some more, I think we do at least one unpopular opinion.
All right, Kadoshi, you want to go first since you've been incommunicado?
Any final topics?
No, we're doing an unpopular opinion. Although, if you have a final topic you want to bring up, you can, if you so choose.
What's an unpopular opinion?
We were gonna do a-hole of the week, but I just didn't feel like doing it. I was like, I don't feel like doing another a-hole of the week. I don't.
I was thinking that we could save it for next week.
No, I mean, you get tired of doing. I'm gonna save unpopular opinion until, asshole of the week until all of E3 is over. Then I'll do asshole of the week. So it'll be next Saturday.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Next week.
So we can do another unpopular opinion. So who wants to go? So do you have any unpopular opinions you want to share?
I'll go first. I think Devolver making fun of E3 is fine with me. I know their conferences aren't for everyone, but I think I don't think these people E3 is completely immune from mockery, whether that be E3 or the journalists that cover E3.
Yeah.
I think there should be more of that. So.
All right. Jewel.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I think I got one. And this is probably gonna be the odd one for me. I feel like basically when it comes to E3, I actually wonder how many times people are gonna try to use revive on it before they realize this is a character that should have stayed dead as much as Aerith.
I disagree. But go ahead. Why?
I said that I'm wondering when people are gonna know that every time they use revive, there's E3 is basically a low stat character that shouldn't be revived. That's what I was saying.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but the thing is that there needs to be some way that the gaming industry can give like a massive kind of celebratory amount of information to consumers. And I know what you're.
Have you seen the other stats that? I mean, have you seen the other piece of competition that are vying for your attention?
I understand what the counterpoint is. Well, they can do their own thing, but that's the thing. They can do their own thing, and it's stretched out, and there's no coordination. Like EA is having some shit in July. Now, who the fuck wants to watch some shit in July? You know? E3 when it's catering to consumers and giving information out, it actually serves a purpose. Like it is this year when it's streaming. E3 when it was basically a circle jerk of, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, and all the big third-party publishers basically breaking their arms, patting themselves on the back on how awesome they were, and talking about how much shit they sold. Yeah, that was not E3 at its best, and that was not good E3. But E3 as a fucking
experience,
as a stream, as just a streamed thing, that's actually pretty good. But that's my opinion. And that would be counter against your opinion, but that's not my
True, but I was saying that if anything, I'm wondering how long it's going to take for people to say that either we need to train this thing to get better or we leave it. That's what I'm wondering, when we're going to get that point.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, it's already better because, I mean, it's fucking streamed, so the information just came out. People weren't spending money dropping fucking Mustang GTs
Hundreds
from the
of dollars.
ceiling. No, millions of dollars dropping shit from the ceiling. So it's already better.
Okay, it's just that I said hundreds because of the price to get into E3.
No, I'm talking about the people putting on the shit.
Oh
It was
yeah,
expensive.
that's the millions right there.
It was a waste of time. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess it's my turn to give my unpopular opinion. My first unpopular opinion is that I kind of touched on it with you. I actually like the streamed format of E3 this year. Because then you can just, like, you don't have to watch any of this shit. You can just go back and just, get the highlights whenever the hell you want, which is nice. And because these companies don't have to cater to, these fucking reporters who got in because they had a press pass, they have to focus on the people who are going to purchase their shit, which means they have to actually give a little bit more information than they typically would. At least it seems that way to me. A little bit. Or they play it really safe like Ubisoft did, or Gearbox, where they actually, like, Gearbox and Ubisoft leaked the really big shit before their conferences. Like, a Mario Kingdom Battle 2 and Tiny Tina's Wondrous Wonderland before the shit even they had their announcements. That's my first unpopular opinion. My second unpopular opinion is about a certain person who had their own stream to compete with E3. Jeff Keighley, you're a piece of shit.
Did I hear that right? Jeff Keighley actually tried to compete with E3.
He did. He had his little games Wonderland shit. The reason I'm saying this is because at this point, if you're having a competing stream with E3, you're just kicking you're kicking someone while they're down.
I was about to say, it's like you're trying to be in front of the TV screen.
Yeah, E3 is a little. I mean, Jeff Keighley's a little two-faced piece of shit anyway. So,
I stick with your end of the year awards dong stroking.
well, I call him a little two-faced piece of shit because this is the same guy who had that big makeout-a-thon with
Kojima.
With Kojima. Oh well, how dare Konami? Konami fired Hideo Kojima because Hideo Kojima kept on ballooning the budgets,
their money,
ballooning the budgets of their fucking games and making less profit. Okay. I mean, if anyone here owned a business and you had someone who every time they had a new project, the budget went up by 50%, 30%, and the revenue generated was going down, after a certain point, you'd be like, yeah, this motherfucker's got to go. Konami, like, even though I don't like Konami, they are a business. They exist. A business exists to make money, okay?
Yes.
And if you have someone working for you, producing a product that costs, like, where it costs so much that the revenue generated isn't really making up the amount of money it takes to make the shit, fire their ass.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me of the two sides of Konami I know of.
Okay, like, I don't like Konami, but as a video game company, as people who hold the
Castlevania.
As the holders of Castlevania, Bomberman, Mystical Ninja, Goemon, like a lot of Suikoden. Yeah, Konami's a trash ass company. But as a business, their job is to fucking make money. That's all a business exists to do. Okay?
Yes.
If you own a business and it's making money, it's doing its job. Okay? That's all that fucking matters, okay? If you own a business, okay? If your business is generating revenue in excess of expenses incurred, your business is doing its job, okay? Period. End of story. So Konami did what they had to do, okay? They had someone who was a liability. They had an employee who was like increasingly making expensive ass shit that was making less money. Not only that, which is bad enough. Not only that, but Kojima was going out fucking killing off projects that would have made a lot of money on a small budget so that he could fucking take that money and funnel it into Metal Gear. Okay?
And how big is Metal Gear right now?
It's dead because Metal Gear was associated with Hideo Kojima. And Kojima fanboys, like Kojima could break in their house, pull down their pants, and fuck them up the ass, and they'd be okay with it. Because it's Hideo Kojima. Because they're Kojima fanboys. Kojima fanboys are almost as bad as PlayStation fanboys. But that's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong. But with that being said, my final unpopular opinion, the first one was I think E3 going all streaming is actually a better move for E3, and the second one was that Jeff Keighley is a piece of shit. My last unpopular opinion is not actually about game. Well, it's tangentially related to gaming. All these companies who keep on releasing all their games in November and September and October. There's 12 months in the year. You don't have to put everything in fucking
In the fucking fall,
in
right?
Q4. You don't have to do that. There's other look, there's spring, summer, fall, winter.
I was about to say, you mentioned fall, which is the month that they usually release it in.
Yeah, but I mean, not everything has to be bunched up together. Like, some of these games could have released in January, February, March. Some of these games could have released in April, May, June. Some of these games could have released in July, August, September. Not everything has to release in October, November, December of the year. I'm sorry. There's no need to put 75, 85% of the games coming out in a year coming out in the last 3 months of the year.
I would make an addition to that, or at least an edit to it. Do not release all your AAA or top tier stuff in the last 3 months of the year.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, okay? Most of the people buying games are fucking adults, working adults who have money. I don't know about you, but I have money all year round.
Yeah.
I don't just have money at Christmas. So I would really like during the summer, 2020 was great for my games library because I cleared out a whole bunch of games that I had not played. I want to play some new shit right now. Can't. Want to know why? Because all the shit I want to play doesn't come out till later into this year. Stop doing that shit.
That's at least one thing that could be pleaded for the love of stars.
But that's my opinion, and I'm gonna leave it alone. Anyone else have anything else they want to say before we wrap things up?
So far, E3 has been a mixed bag of okay to really.
Fair.
So if anything, I can't wait to see what else is coming.
This is just the beginning of E3, so, we won't see much, anything interesting until, the bigger, like,
Monday?
Microsoft and Nintendo show their stuff.
The PC
I don't know,
gaming show.
Sony's not going to be there, right?
Yeah, but let's be fair. Sony really doesn't have much to show.
So, yeah, it's just Microsoft, Nintendo, and the PC Gaming Show, so.
And if I remember right, Xbox is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, and the PC
So,
Gaming
yeah.
Show. But here's the thing: a lot of
Yeah.
the shit that's going to be on the PC Gaming Show is also coming to
Xbox?
is also coming to Xbox.
So Sunday's your day.
I mean, it's like a lot of the shit that Nintendo's like, yeah, this is coming to the Switch. It turns out it's also coming to
PC and everything else?
PC. Well, it's also coming to PC, so it's like, well, shit. If this is coming to PC, then
As I said, this is your show.
I don't need to buy this on the Switch. And there's some game like, okay, there was a game that Nintendo showed off at their indie thing, Mercenaries Blaze, right? And the way they showed off, it's coming to the Switch. It's gonna be on the Switch. It's also coming to PC, and I got it on sale on PC for like $15, whereas on the Switch it's like $20. So, I mean, why would I get that on the Switch when I can pay $5 less and get it on PC?
What? Yeah. So, why didn't Nintendo just schedule theirs for Monday, anyway?
Force a
Yeah,
It's
habit,
like a
probably.
big old Monday. Yeah.
Force a habit. They were like, look, we always go last. We'll go last yet again.
Yeah.
Nintendo's weird like that.
So who's going Monday then? Is that just
Like third parties are going to take the. Here, let me look it up. I think I have the E3 schedule up here. Yes, the E3 schedule. Monday is Capcom, and only Capcom.
I was about to say, Capcom took a whole day for itself.
Yeah, but their conference is probably going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours,
Ooh.
maybe maybe an hour. Whereas Nintendo's is going to be at
Nintendo's digital direct is going to be an hour before you see the treehouse.
yeah, but Nintendo's direct, from what I remember watching, Nintendo East Coast, 10 p.m. 10 fucking p.m. I am not staying up and watching that shit. I'll watch it. It's gonna be 40 minutes, and after that is the treehouse. Fuck that shit. I'm fucking. Which means their treehouse is probably pre-recorded, and they're just broadcasting it. And some people are speculating they're going to show Metroid Prime 4. If they show Metroid Prime 4, I will eat my hairnet. I mean my do-rag. I'll eat my do-rag.
You might want to be careful with those words, Red.
They aren't showing
that
Metroid.
happen?
They are not showing Metroid Prime 4 because they restarted development 2 years ago. That game is not ready for release.
I know, but if they show any news of Metroid 4, that's gonna be your rag you're eating.
They aren't doing that shit.
That's the only thing I'm gonna say, because if they show news of Metroid 4,
They ain't
then I
doing.
could say that. But I could bet you that you're not eating that.
I say that with 100% confidence. Not 95, 100. There is no way on God's green earth they're showing Metroid Prime 4. And if they do, I'll be wrong and I'll eat my do-rag.
Boy, that's the only thing I'm thinking, that if they have any news of Metroid 4, that's gonna be your rag. But
The keyword,
otherwise, I say
they
you're
have
safe.
to show off. They have to show off gameplay of Metroid Prime 4. I don't think they're gonna do it. Not only do I think they're not going to do it, I don't think they might say we're working on it, but you're not going to see anything about it. And if they do show something, they're going to show that same sorry ass interactive wallpaper they had last time.
Yeah,
that
I was
people
gonna say that.
jizzed in their pants about. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4! Ah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That that if anything, if they show any gameplay or something more than just that opening,
There isn't
then
going
I
to be
see
there.
you having that problem.
There isn't going to be any gameplay, and they're not going to show anything. I just really, I don't know. I just have this feeling that it's not going to happen. That's all I'm saying. But that's my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. Anyone else have anything else they want to add before we wrap things up? Get to the end of the cast. Anything they want to pimp out? Show off?
Guilty Gear Strive. I just started playing that yesterday. It's a great game. Pick it up if you pick it up when you get the chance.
Yeah, I wanted to. I'm going to wait until the price drops a little bit before I get it. Because I'm cheap. I'm a cheap bastard.
Yeah, it's rare that I buy games at full price. But
I mean, if a game has a pre-order that includes a lot of bennies, like you get the deluxe edition for $60, but it comes with all the DLC that's going to come out, okay, fair. But if you're just giving me the base game for $60 and you know they're going to have DLC for it, that they're going to charge bits and pieces, I'll just wait until all the shit comes out and then get it when it's on sale.
Yeah, that's how a lot of fighting games are, unfortunately.
So I'm just like, I'll wait. What?
Other than that, is Sony the only one that's doing this whole $70 base game charge thing?
Yes.
'Cause I haven't heard hide or hair from Microsoft doing it.
Well, because Microsoft wants to basically show themselves off as the higher value proposition, and they can't do that if they're fucking charging you up the ass for, next gen upgrades.
Yeah, that's. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, the obvious answer is they want more money. That's why they're charging more. But
because they can, because PlayStation fans. Actually, I'm not going to call them fans, because let's keep it real. The amount of PlayStation 4s that were bought, most of those were casuals. Casuals don't care about the price. They just want to play their games with their friends. Yeah. And PlayStation is where their friends are playing, so that's what they're buying.
Yeah. They do.
So, and they're not going to sit there and say, hey, why would I spend $70 for something that last year I was paying $60 for? They're like, hey, my friends are playing Call of Duty. I want to play Call of Duty with my friends. So let me grab some toilet paper and take a duty. That's yeah, I had to go for that low-hanging duty fruit right there. I mean, that's basically casual gamers.
I was saying that was a cheap joke even for you.
It was, and I feel bad about saying it, but I mean, there's nothing else I can say about Call of Duty. I mean, I could launch into a music joke, shake, 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 shake that duty. But you got to work hard to get to that point, and I just don't feel like doing it. So yeah, Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. But anything else? Anyone wants to say about anything?
I think we're good.
All right. This was the Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and that's the podcast. We got finished early. We had shit to do. Got through it, and we finished early. So there you go, folks. Peace. Good night. Arrivederci. We will be back next Wednesday to do what would be the last little bit of our E3 coverage, but it won't, because by the time we finish the podcast, Nintendo's E3 will not have even started yet for people on the East Coast. So as you can guess, we'll talk about everything but Nintendo's E3 this Wednesday. I guess we'll cover our total thoughts on E3 next Saturday, give our unpopular opinions, the king of E3, the loser of E3, etc., etc. Peace, good night, arrivederci, stay safe, stay humble, peace, and good night.
Responsibly.
That too. That too. All right. And we're done.